This conference
Started
will
now.
now be recorded.
Okay. So we talked about like how to perform, like making use of the Chat GPT for SQL, right? Yeah. So which means we started from the beginning, like how to create database, how to get into database, and how to perform creation of a structure, modification of a structure, like altering, right? Yeah. And then insert comments. So it is inserted comments for each and every line, right? For each of the structure element, yeah, or each of the field, you can say. And then we have also inserted sample data to the given structure or given meta elements. Then after that, we performed update and then queried. So we could able to run all of them from one of the database, like we tried with the MySQL, right? We could able to get the result of what we expect. Yeah. So this is what we have seen, right? Like I think we performed some operations like insert or whatever. Yes, like these commands, right? And then we have seen the effect of this DDL, DML operations as part of query. Yeah. Apart from that, we have also done like how to create, how to perform repetitive operations. See, our assumption is what? Let's say we don't know any language. SQL also we don't know, let's say. That's our assumption, right? But as per the requirement, we need to perform what? Repetitive operations. So we asked one question, right? Like how to perform repetitive operations. So we got the response from ChatGPT is that using procedures or functions. Then what we asked for? Create a procedure based on some functionality. Like we asked for calculate some salary drawn from each of the specified department. For that we got a procedure, right? Somewhere we have seen that. Yes. So yeah, this kind of procedure it got created, yeah, by itself based on department table and employee table, right? So that's what. In a sense, this is a main query, guys. If we already anyway, we all know that, but we don't need to know anyway. So this is a main query. So it is trying to perform some employee salary into out parameter, which is total salary from employee table, where from employee table department ID equal to department ID that we get it from the user, which is input parameter. So that's it. Yeah. So that input parameter we can see here, department ID, right? This is the out parameter. That's it. Yeah. And then, but here we are trying to iterate. What we asked was we don't need to supply. We don't supply any input from the user. Instead, it has to traverse each department ID from department table. That's why it's inserted what cursor pointer, right, to traverse each and every row. Yeah. So that's it. So it is going to traverse and get department ID by itself and execute this particular query, which is this. Then insert a temporary table. That's not our job anyway. Then you'll get the sum calculation from temporary, whatever. Anyway, whatever it does, it is completed. But if you try to make a call to that SP, right, we could able to see the result of stored procedure. That's it. Yeah. So this way, even without supplying any input, also we could able to get the result from SP. Another way, what we tried was we have just created one stored procedure where we supply the input. Yeah. So based on the input, we can get the result. Example, can you see here? I think we tried this procedure, right? Can you see here? Like input is a department name, output is what? Total salary. Yeah. So we can say query here. So let's say from employee table, employee departments comparing with what? Department from input parameter. That's it. So and then it is calculating total salary. You can see, right? Sum total employee salary into total salary, which is out parameter. That's it. So this SP is basically for a given input, we expect what corresponding result. Yeah. So now we are trying to perform creation of a tables, two tables, whatever, insert data, then execute that SP to look at the effect of it. Yeah, that's one way. So yes, other way, let's say we don't want to supply even that also. Just paste the data from department table and execute SP. That's the second way we did. That's it. So with this, we know how to perform sum, and we have also inserted one more row to existing table, which is employee table, to look at the effect of aggregation, because we have inserted same department ID in employee table, where if we try to perform group by operation, right, with the department ID, so both the rows salary data will be combined, like 65 plus 75 equal to what? 140, because we are performing some salary, right, belong to each department. Yeah, just this is, we inserted this just to understand whether it is going to group set of related records or not. That's it, it is grouped. Yeah. So that's what we did as part of what SQL. So before we get into the next step, if anybody has got any questions, so please try to shoot out on SQL portion, guys. If not, we'll get into another topic. You know, and debugging also, I think we talked about it. Yeah, like these are the topic I covered, guys. Introduction, then SQL concept, DDL, DML, TCL, whatever. Then query, like what is the result that we get it. Adding comments we did. Debugging also we discussed. Like we have given wrong table name or wrong type, wrong key. Then I think one of you trying to ask question, take out semicolon, whatever, right? So whatever. Such kind of bugs we introduced. So ChatGPT identified the issue and it's corrected also. Yeah. So and how to create a query from the scratch also we discussed. Optimization, probably I think I talked about it. Some of you are not there. So remember, guys, this is applicable when if we have too many levels of join, or if you have a query which is not indexed, or let's say if you have very what you call large query, and it and that particular query will be used to process large data. In that case, we need to perform automation, especially by using what? PDO, which is push down optimization, or that is for retrieval. And while loading onto a target, right? So we need to go with what? Bulk load, or we can go with what? Again PDO with a full. So push and automation is full. So there are the some of the what you call automation techniques in SQL, but we don't need to understand that. We don't need to know at all. Just ask for ChatGPT to optimize your query. It will perform. That's it. So These are the topics we discussed. Likewise, you can extend this to other DB objects like a synonym, trigger, cursor, package, or whatever. So we can perform even others also. Yeah. So that's it about SQL part. Yeah. Now let us try to focus on one of the programming language. Meaning, let us say our goal is what? Use ChatGPT for building the data warehouse. So to get there, storage part we discussed, database, like how to take care of right from structure till the retrieval of data, right? Including optimization. Only data part we discussed, but who is going to process? That's where we need to start making use of one of the programming language. Yeah, which means we are trying to focus on processing part. Yeah. So latest language, let's say Python, right? So let us try to understand that. Understand means what? What are the topics that will be covered? That's all. We don't need to know Python programming language. Remember. Yeah. So now we are in that era, right? Without knowing any language, we could able to perform building a solution. Yeah. So now let us understand the like what is a Python. We don't need to know. There is some latest language. That's it. Yeah. But I know Python. Like the Python will be used to take care of structured aspects, object-oriented aspects, plus scripting. We can use it for three of them. Yeah. Now, so most of the cases, Python will be used to perform object-oriented operations with the scripting, but the Python has become most popular language, a programming language, because of what? One, it's easy to code, and second, it is easy to maintain, and third, we can write complex logic in fewer lines because of many modules which are available as part of Python. So we just need to know how to make use of those modules. For example, if you want to perform some stock market operations, right? We can use numpy or pandas. Using those two modules, we could able to automate stock market operations like buy and sell. We can write a Python code and embed as part of, let's say, any broker view, or within our local also we can just run it would talk to appropriate exchange like NSE, NASDAQ, whatever. We'll have API keys for it to talk to appropriate exchange, then perform buy and sell automatically based on your strategy. So that strategy also we can get it from ChatGPT. I'll talk about later. Let's stick to what Python. So that's it, which means here I am trying to talk about that because we have pre-built modules. So we just need to know how to make use of it. We don't need to think of writing too many lines of code. But in ChatGPT context, yeah, we have to install those modules within our local environment. There is a PIP, so using which we can just install it. Even that command also we don't need to know. ChatGPT is going to tell us like what to install, how to install by using a command. We just have to copy and paste it in what our execution environment. Rest it would take care. That's it. Yeah. So that we need to see, and then adding comments like what we did in SQL, right? Same thing we are going to see. So let us try doing it practically. Yeah. So assuming that we don't know anything. Yeah, we know only okay. Python is the topmost language which can be used to process large data in a short time. Yeah, so that's it. So now let us get into ChatGPT. Yeah. So I'll just clear everything. Yeah, fine. So first thing, so let us say, let's go with what is the latest programming language to build, let's say, data warehouse. We can use either Java, Python, any language to build, let's say, data warehouse. Yeah, yeah. So it has given what SQL and Python also. You can see, right? SQL part we have discussed. Now Python we are trying to get that, right? Now write a what you call single line Python code to get text printed on a screen. Just to understand how screen-based operations would be taken care by using what Python. See, we got a single line, which is we have standard in, standard out, standard error. We all know that, right? They're all console operations, right? Anyway, we don't need to know. So this is what console output, which is standard output we call. It is just printing hello world. Yeah. But one thing that we need to take care here is we need to install what? Python. That also you can ask how to install Python. Yeah. So because we understood like what all required to build data warehouse, right? Yes or no? We got the answer SQL with Python. Then SQL we have already installed it, one of the database MySQL, right? Next is what? Python. Just you can ask question how to install Python. See, it is trying to give answer, right? That's it. So we just have to follow this. Yeah. So we can from the let's say we are going with what Windows. Yeah. So you can just go to this python.org, then navigate to downloads and select download the installer. Then there will be installer name which is a Python some version 3.x version and simple navigations we just have to follow next whatever, right? And make sure that Python got installed at the end. That's it. Yeah. Just make sure that Python is available. For example, before we install Python in our environment, we can just make sure that whether Python is available or not. If you try to run the Python, see, if it asks for some input, which means what? Python is available. Yes or no? We can supply here Python V or whatever, right? That's what we can see as part of what this option, right? To check the Python got installed. Python hyphen version. Yeah. Python was not found. Why? There are two cases why we get to see this particular message. One, Python would have not been installed, and second, though Python is there, it is not in the path. Yeah, one of these two reasons. Remember. Yeah. So, so we can search in our environment in case if we have Python or not. Yeah. If not, we need to install it. Yeah. So yes, there is a Python here, right? The desktop. See. because it's not the path, but in desktop it is there. That's how you could able to see it here. This is a Python. It's a command line environment, guys. We can also use, there are multiple graphical IDEs, integrated development environments, like a Charm. We got Idle. We got many more. Yeah, we can use them also. So that's fine. Now, so make sure that it is in the path. Yeah. Now the next question. So whatever, which means we know where to download and how to install, then verify that environment. If you go with these steps, right? If you supply this as part of installation itself, it is going to add this in the path. We don't need to do that. It will take care by itself. That's it. Similarly for other platforms, Mac or any Linux environment or Unix environment. So that's it. Yeah. Now we understood environment part also. Yeah. So like can you see guys, integ IDs. It also listed some IDs. One is PyCharm, second is VS Code. We got ideal. Some are not listed here. So PyCharm is the most powerful one. But anyways, anything is fine. Yeah. Because anyway, we don't care, right? We are not going to use those ideas for debugging whatever. Yeah. So we could do it. We can do it by using ChatGPT. Why we need to care about these IDs? IDs are required, one, to debug, second, to identify issues, syntactic or semantical issues, and third, to debug line by line or step into, step out, continue, whatever, right? Those debugging operations. For that only we need this. But those things anyway we are doing it in ChatGPT, right? Then why do we need these IDs? So they are useless once you get into AI world, right? Now let us talk about execution of this online thing, right? That we produced. Yeah, this one. Now we can just copy and paste it in what? This Python console environment. See, we got the result. So this is what we call standard output or console output. Simply string as a result here. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Like how one can perform simple programming starting part. Any questions, guys, from anybody? Because we are focusing on processing part of warehousing, right? One language, which is Python. We started off using it. Any questions, guys? Because this is starting point, so we need to make sure that we are all on the same page. Yeah. So Gayatri, Madhav, Pavan, Ramesh, Ravi, Sridhar, Suresh, all. Any questions?
No.
Okay, fine. So now let us get into the next step. Yeah. First one. Let us say calculate what we call sum of n natural numbers using Python. Right? Yeah. Before Python, let us try to calculate sum. Yeah. It is writing anyway because we are in the Python space, right? Because it understands what we issued commands earlier. Yeah. So anyway, there is a formula n to n plus 1 by 2. Then for that formula, it is written the code. That's all. So this is the actual function, right? We use a def. It takes what? N as input, which is number. Then it returns the sum and make a call, which is sum of natural numbers. So we could able to see the return value here, and it is printing here. That's all. Yeah. Now, if you try to copy paste this particular code, this way you can do, or you can also click on copy code and paste it here. in now. Oh, oh, okay. Can you see, guys? We got 55. So 10 into 10 plus 1 by 2. Yeah. So which is 11 into 10, 110 by 2, right? Which is 55. No, that's correct, right? Yes or no? So that's it. This is a simple example to understand like how we could do processing by using a Python, right? Now let us try to understand some more things. Yeah, like add detailed comments to an existing code. Yeah, add detailed comments for the Python code. So that's it. Yeah. Now can you see here? So even you can start from the beginning, right? So define a function to calculate first and natural numbers. Yeah, it is defining here the formula for sum of first and natural numbers n 10 plus 1 by 2 using integer division. This one to ensure the result is an integer. Yeah, so that's it. Then calculate the sum of first and natural numbers. It is just initialized with 10 and it will give us the result. That's it. Now we are making a call to this function and then storing the result in a variable which is a result, then printing that result. So you will see for every line we can see what the corresponding comment. That's it. Yeah. If you want to understand, you don't need that also because that's the job of ChatGPT, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Just for understanding, I've just talked about it. Yeah. Now let us say extend let us above code with the parameterization in any warehousing world, right? We focus on what parameterization, which means for a given input we expect what corresponding result. Because for today, let's say we focus on the sum based on 10 natural numbers, and tomorrow it could be 20 or 100, which means this number would be varied from day to day or week to week or month to month, whatever. In that case, we need to have so way to key in the input to this particular program. Yeah. So extend, but that we are trying to ask for parameterization code, right? Extend the above Python code to get it parameterized. Yeah? To accept input arguments or parameters. Yeah? As n, which is as a number, which is n. Yeah? So that's it. Yeah? Can you see here? So it is added one input. Input is a function in Python to accept input from the user. Integer is a conversion from string to integer. Then if it is greater than 0, then make a call, else throw error. That's why we can see exception handling here, which means erroneous code will be kept within the try block and then rest will be captured as part exception block in case if something wrong. You know, in the sense, any issue can come in here, those will be caught as part of exception block. Remember that, yeah. So that's invalid input or whatever, right? So now let us try to see, we can also understand this code prompts for the user to enter a number. That's what we asked for, right? For a given input n, which is a number, we expect what? Sum calculation. So that's what it does, right? So that's why we need to give the right uh, input, which is right text. Let's copy and paste it. So there is a problem here. Yeah. So problem is what? Invalid input. Remember, guys. So which means we have not supplied any input here. So what we need to do? We can just what I call put this code in a file, which is a Python file, and supply argument because it is caught as part of what exception block, right? That's what we expect, right? As per the Java code, sorry, Python code, because without input, it will not return anything, right? That's why we got this exception caught. Yeah. Now we know this particular location, right? Let us get the path, yeah, or get the path here. This is a location. That's where we have got a Python. We can go to that location because we did not set any path, right? So that's why we need to go to that location. If you set a path, we can run it from anywhere. So now copy and paste. Okay. So now if you try to issue Python, let us see. See, it is executed now. Yeah, we got the prompt, right? Which means Python is available here. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So now let's say we are outside the Python prompt. We saw 3xx, right? 3.1.1 version got installed here, right? Now in this location, we can place Python code. Let us open the notepad where we can copy and paste the code, right? Or we can also open this Python IDE. Anything is fine. Yeah. IDE we don't need to remember. Let's we should not make it complicated because our assumption is what? Without knowing code, we should get the job done. Yeah. So now let's get the code from ChatGPT. Yes, paste it. So same code we can see, right? So make sure that we are placing the right code. This is a definition, exception handling, try and catch. That's it. Now save it. So let's say this is what? Sum dot py. Yeah. So to avoid this text extension, right? You can just place it in double quotes so that our file name will be sum.py. So we can store it wherever you want. Let's say C target, right? So let it store. Fine. Now we got a file, right? Now we can use Python, then C colon slash target slash sum.py. See, it is asking for input. Now supply 10. See, we got 55. Supply out 5. What? No, no, no. As code input, right? So now it asks for input. Supply 5. See, we got 50. 5 into 5 plus 1, which is 6. 5 into 6, which is 30, divided by 2, which is 15. Clear, guys, to everyone? Yes or no? So this way we can place the Python code in a script file, in a file which extension of .py. Yeah, we are also that also you can ask question. So where to how to place or where to place above code in a Python file. Yeah. So you can ask for it. Yeah. See here. So open the preferred text editor. That's what we did anyway. Or IDE, whatever, one of them, right? Then copy and paste the code and then name it as what? Whatever. So we give some, right? Then go to command prompt and execute this. That's what we did, right? Yes or no? That's it. Yeah. So, which means what? If you have too many lines of code, right? Yeah. Just for understanding, command prompt is okay. But in reality, we go with what files, where we can store many lines of text and execute it like what it was saying here. So, same thing we did, right? Python is executable to run Python programs, then supply Python program as input, and whatever it does, it does. In this case, for a given input, we are expecting what? The output. That's it. Yeah. So now the next question. So let us say, can you see here? Is it taking argument to this particular Python code? No. It is accepting user has to supply the input because input function it uses. If you look at this Python code input function, I think we talked about it. This one. So it expects the input from the user. Yeah. So let us say extend above Python code as what command line argument. So which means input to Python itself we can supply. For example, can you see here? Python is a ability to execute Python code, then Python script file name, then input value, which means like we tried now, right? By supplying 10 as input to this or some number as input to this code, right? It didn't take because like this. It didn't take because our code is not written in such a way that it can accept input argument to this code. But what we gave for a given input, get the result. That's what we give. That's what it's asking for some input here. We got it. Now we can also perform this, which means as a command line argument. Command line means what? This is a command, right? Yeah. Argument is what? This one, 10. So as part of running a code or running the code itself, we can supply value. Yeah. This is an input. This is what? Command line input. There are different things here. Yeah. So this is standard input we call. This is a command line input. Yeah. Which will supply input value to this Python code at the time of execution itself is what we call command line arguments. Yeah. That's why we asked for specific question to take care of this command line arguments, right? So now here we have got, can you see here, sysargv. Yeah. So which means we have got argc and argv. Argv to take the input from the user. Yeah, this is a variable argument. That's what it means. Which is derived from sys module. So sys should have been imported here. Look at here. So this is what we call a module, sys module or system module. So in that it contains what? argv related activities. Yeah. With sys also we can also exit from particular command. Yeah, and that's it. So here we have got sum of a natural number. This is fine. This will be used to accept input from the script itself. Can you see here usage Python script name and value. So that's what it is. It takes argv takes what any input from the script. Yeah, that's it. It is reading here argv1 first one. So remember here, if you want to understand what is the arg and all, this is a zero, guys. Yeah, this is a Python code actually. This is zero. Then this is one. So which is argv0 means script name. Argv1 means input value. It's the second argument I can say. Yeah. So that's what we can see here, right? argv1. If n greater than 0, which is this, if the user supplies, then control gets in here and calls the function sum, right? Which is defined in the top, which is this one. Control comes over here, execute that n number of statements. In this case, n into n plus 1 by 2. Then after execution, right, result of that will be stored in output variable, which is a result, and it is printing here, right? Else enter positive number. Yeah, if you are given other than positive number, or else if the user doesn't supply, no, or invalid input if you supply, right? So exception handler will caught. That's it. Yeah, that's it, guys. Like how one can supply the input argument to this code itself, which is script, and get the result. Yeah. Now let us try to copy this code and see whether it is going to work or not. Yeah. In data warehousing world, right? We can also supply this. For example, I think if you know data warehousing, right? Let's say we have got schedulers. Yeah. In scheduler, third-party schedulers, right? For any program, like stored procedure, a stored function, right? We can supply input parameters and get corresponding out parameter populated, right? In that case, we can apply from programming perspective. Yeah, fine. So now let us try to create another file here, a new one. Copy paste that code. Yeah, then save it. So let's say Python to calculate sum of n natural numbers with command line args. Yeah, that's it. Dot py. Put it in double quotes. That's it. So which means Python code to calculate sum based on command line argument. That's it. And save it. Yeah. Now let us try to run it. Clear this to avoid confusion. Then Python followed by, yeah. So if you try to give here we don't have that code, right? So we kept it in some other folder. So we need to go to that location and type py. See here we have got only one file, which is Python file. It starts with what py. I've typed py and then it should tab. That's it. Now enter. See usage. Can you see here? In case if we give wrong or you have not supplied as a input, right? That's what we saw in the code, right? Usage somewhere we saw that. Yeah. Can you see here? If the argument is not equal to 2, so that's where you'll get see what usage, because count not equal to 2 means what? Script name is 1 and next our input, so it is not equal to 2, right? Because we have not supplied input, right? So only 1. Control comes here, so that's why usage it is trying to throw up here. Yeah. So now let us change it. Now let us say 10. See, we got the result. That's it. Even if you supply, let's say 5, you'll get the result, which is sum of five natural numbers. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Like how one can perform what you call command line operations. Any questions there from anybody? So this way, what we need to do is we need to understand our requirement. Ask that question to ChatGPT to get the answer. Then fine tune that particular input till you get your result. Yeah, that's it. So
Uh,
that's it. For a given input, you corresponding. Yes, Radha.
that's why you are showing something or not equal to true, then is it going into the exception handling, the error message?
Code. Okay, let me show. Yeah, can you see yet? If length means what? See, it is going to calculate number of arguments. Number
Okay.
of arguments, right? If it is not equal to 2. First time we did not supply 2 arguments, right? So that's why
Yes.
control comes here. That's why it is showing, okay, we need to supply 1. This is a usage. Script, then script name, then followed by value.
Got it.
Let's see, we have not supplied this value. Instead, we supplied only these two. That
Mm.
is why we got this error message saying that usage is this. You got right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Count of arguments. This is equal to a length means what? Count of input arguments. Yeah. Earlier count was not equal to 2. Now it is equal to 2, which is first argument. This is the first argument, and second argument is this. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. If you don't supply, that's what we saw. Usage, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that's it. Clear, right? Yeah. Any other
Yes.
questions? Now, based on that input, right? What is it doing? See, it is right. It is reading the second argument, like our value, and storing in what? N. If n greater than 0, control comes here, which is if block, right? Then calls this method or function. It goes here, where definition, right? Which is this sum of a natural numbers. Yeah. So that's it. Now it is calculating n plus 1 by 2. Then control comes down and prints the value here, which is the result, right? And it is printing here under the console. Print, I think, which started with a print only, right? Like how to print text or a string on a console. We started with that. Then in that console, is a static value plus the calculated value result, which is a result of sum of natural numbers. That's it. Yeah. Now let us say we supply some what I call ABC. See here, in this case, invalid input, which means it can only take numerals as input, which is numeric values. Remember that. Yeah. So that is why it's asking for what? Please enter a positive number. Yeah. So that's what we can see as part of this. Please enter a valid integer, right? So which means it is capturing what exception if you supply wrong input. Let's say if you supply A also, same thing. If you supply 1, you'll get the result, any numeric value. Or if you supply, let's say, if you don't supply, we have seen it already. If you supply some bit large number, you'll get the corresponding result. That's it. Now with this, we know valid input, no input, and invalid input. Three things we discussed here. Yeah. Valid means this is a
Very
valid.
minus
Invalid
number.
input means like string, and then no input means no argument, which is no value to the script. That's what it means. Three things we have discussed.
Minus number.
Yes or no? Minus also it should. Okay. Minus, right? Minus one. See, enter a
Yes.
positive number.
Yeah.
The text itself, message itself says enter
Positive
positive
number. Yeah.
number, right?
Yes, yes, that's
Exactly.
what I meant.
This one, right? Yes, positive number. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. I think we covered, I think, all the combinations, right? Yeah. So this is starting point, guys, about Python. Yeah. So now we need to extend this. Yeah. So we just started off understanding very basic elementary things of Python. Yeah. So introduction we got it, explain Java code, comments we discussed. Optimization part we'll see. So we started with a simple example. So yeah, now we can also ask for ChatGPT optimize above Python code. Yeah, if you know some optimization techniques, we can ask specific question. If you can also ask like optimize above code, whatever, right? It will just optimize. See, remove unnecessary code, exit or whatever, right? Redundant code and indentation, all that it has taken care. But they are very minor things, but still it is reduced what number of lines of code over here. Yes or no? Compared to earlier, right? So, so this is again, even if you run this code, you'll get the same result. Yeah. Let us try to open the notepad, copy, paste. For some, right? That's what we are doing. And then dot py. But real optimization you can see when you try to insert or if you have too many lines of code where we perform too many mathematical operations. Yeah. So where let us say if you have too many levels of join or whatever, right? In that case, we can see the real effect of what optimization. Yeah. But here also we can see like removal of some redundant data or indentation stuff to make it more readable, whatever, right? Such things are taken care here. Yeah. Now let us try to run it. Yeah. See here it's asking for input. Same. Result is same only, but only it got optimized, nothing else. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Like how one can ask for optimization. See here, see same thing. If you want to do it by yourself, you know what? So we need to put in a lot of effort. So which we need to be very good in Python. You know? So which means you need to have understanding of Python and usage of that in effective way. That is not that easy. It's very complex. Yeah. So because Python has got many optimal techniques, so this chat GPT applies the relevant optimal techniques for a given input code. Remember that. Yeah. But manually if you want to do it, it's very tough task. Remember, guys. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I think yesterday, some other day, right? I was trying to talk about this definitely is going to replace many jobs. So as per World Economic Survey, right, they say that 85 millions, but anyway, we'll see reality may be different or less or more. Yeah. So that's why we should be careful, guys. So, which means we should upskill from our side so that we can just switch over to AI, right, to take care of it. Yeah. Fine. That's about optimization stuff. But anyway, So we'll talk about some more things as part of Python, guys. Some complex calculations or modify code, all that we'll see, and troubleshooting also we'll see. Anyway, we just started today only, right? We'll talk about from tomorrow. Fine. Yeah. Any questions, guys? So make sure that you practice, guys, so that you'll get used to it. Because as you go on, right, we are going to go with what iterative stuff or nested stuff or incremental stuff or inserting buggy code and troubleshoot. We are going to do many things. Yeah. Not only from Python, even from warehousing context also we'll do it. Yeah. I think some are from programming background, right? I think I don't know. Maybe Gayatri .NET, huh? Ramesh from Kafka messaging. That's what I understood. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, I'll try to talk about one example on messaging stuff like AMQP or Kafka or JMS messaging or IBM message queues, whatever. But let's see. So if I get time, but I cannot assure on that. But yeah, any questions, guys, from anybody? Yeah. So if there are no questions, then we'll stop here. We'll continue from it tomorrow. Okay. So thanks
Okay.
to all, guys.
Thank you.